So that brings to mind a dialogue I used to have quite regularly, especially at the brigade command levels. I was working with company and field grade officers maturing into their responsibilities and developing into their future responsibilities. And that conversation was about being a scientist before being an artist. And by that, I mean, there are some basic premises, and we were in a striker brigade. So there's things like the range and time to arm a javelin missile vis-a-vis the movement rates of an enemy tank that create a science problem, in that you don't need to try and make it any more complex than it has to be. If you understand the basic science of the rates of fire of javelins versus the rates of fire and the rates of movement of a tank and things like that, you can map out using relatively straightforward arithmetic how fast that tank can close on you and the time it's going to take to arm, cool, and launch that missile, and then rearm and shoot another missile if you have a subsequent tank after that one, or you don't get a hit. And the realization that just came to mind for me in the recollection of that experience is that in some respects, certainly where we are now, and as you described the Fingerspitzengefühl, and thank you for the hat tip for the, in essence, the current state of play may, and I can't say this with complete certainty, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts and then also see how these panels play out. The current state of play of AI and robotics may lend itself solely towards the science of conflict. And that return to revisiting and applying the notion of Fingerspitzengefühl and the commander's responsibilities to understand and feel the battlefield, especially as we deal with unfeeling and purely logical systems like AI-enabled automation, capabilities like robots. What's your take on this art versus science? I'm going to call it dichotomy at this point in time, and the role of machines, and both in terms of compute or AI and the actual automation itself.